everything in the Total Human Protocol is things that I have done for my family, things that I had to figure out, and then over time, brought them to the practice, but it had to work for my people first. This gentleman is a client that was in Total Human Protocol, and I'm gonna read this exam for you. This was his stool exam. He is a early 30s athlete who is consuming upwards of 200 to 250 grams of protein. Big, strong guy. Really, he owns several gyms in town, in Tulsa area, and so was really dialed in on his macros, his nutrients, and told me like, nah man, I'm locked in, I got no problems. I'm like, well, if you got no problems, then why are we talking about going to the bathroom stuff? Left to the right, keystone microbiome, keystone diversity, that basically means, or what is the bacteria inside of the gut. Gut barrier integrity means what is the lining of the gut look like? Is there a mucous membrane on the inside of the gut? Inflammatory dysbiosis, it basically means is there inflammation within the gut. Digestive insufficiencies, you can see this gentleman was in the red there. Immune response tolerance, you can see he had no immune response to the things. And then fungal imbalance, yes, we can actually see if you're having a fungal overgrowth in the gut. What we'll notice here in this gentleman's keystone is that he had a ton of, look at all of the highs. Right, you can see where we had a lot of extra bacteria that was growing on. He was literally loading up on probiotics, being able to saturate himself with probiotics, and it wasn't working for him because his body was actually responding because it had so much bacteria, it wasn't able to do the things it was supposed to do. You'll see that I've circled on my chart here the Ankermansia. You'll see that number 2, that's low. That actually says that the mucous membrane on the inside of his gut lining that would stop him from getting leaky gut is low. And you know what the cool thing is? We typically don't even tell you to supplement for that. We just tell you to eat more red berries because it feeds off of red berries. And so wouldn't that be nice to know that eating strawberries and raspberries would be really good for your health, or at least good for your guts? Okay, let's scroll down, please. You'll see that you'll see that he's having a high, super high secretory IgA. That means his body is responding to inflammation and the immune system is like, what the heck is going on? And that's why it's showing up in his stool that way. We'll scroll down. Gut barrier integrity, you can see once again, we're looking at what's going on with him. He had some weakness in the lining of the gut. When we have weakness in the lining of the gut for an extended period of time, it will start to leak. Okay, so people that don't go to the bathroom regularly, you're not getting a good evacuation regularly. What we'll see is that the gap junctions, at the bottom you'll see the zonulin. The gap junctions aren't completely closing. He's right there to where he's almost to the leaky gut scenario. If he got over that 175, he would be gapping open, seeping yuck into the rest of his body. And so we were able to avoid that, which is great for him because now we understand what to do for his gut. We're not guessing, and we're able to take him off some of his probiotics and be able to line him out a little bit better. Inflammatory dysbiosis, what this is telling us is that he's literally having a response to not going to the bathroom. His body is throwing off white blood cells and giving him a huge inflammatory response inside of his gut. But the reason was all of that led us to digestive insufficiency. He literally was not doing the right things and consuming digestive enzymes. So he was taking in all that protein and not breaking it down and converting it to muscle. So this identified what we really did with him was get him on digestive enzymes. He was not able to secrete or clean out so much his pancreas wasn't even working correctly. That's why you'll see that we have the pancreas labeled there at 525. We want to see that in the 750s. So his pancreas wasn't releasing the enzymes to break down the protein, i.e. the food wasn't getting to his muscles. Once we got him doing that, he responded and he was in the top 10 for the competition he was getting into. It doesn't mean that you have to take 1,000 different vitamins. It doesn't mean that you have to stay on a crazy diet for a long time. But to see is to know, and everything else is a guess. And our clinical practice, we want to take a picture. We want to know what we're doing. We want to know why we're doing it. This is an example of that. He had no idea why he wasn't going to the bathroom. He thought he was. He thought he was actually cleaning himself out because he was having a stool daily. But the truth is he was not being able to process the food that he was taking in. So it wasn't very efficient for him. So finding out what the efficiency was for him actually shot him through the roof on where his performance went. And that's what the Total Human Protocol is about.